Hi everybody, this is the briefing video for the Essex Marathon and Half Marathon taking place on Sunday the 18th of April. My name is Mike from Active Training World. I'm just going to give you some final instructions ready for the big day. So first thing to note is that when you are coming to the venue is to actually find the right place to actually enter. So it's Debden Airfield is where you're going to, which is next to Carver Barracks. When you arrive, all the signage will probably send you towards the actual entrance to the main barracks itself. So it's really important that you look out for the signs. There'll be big yellow signs that say ATW event or ATW event parking, which will take you off the main road. It's literally 200 metres, a little bit further down the road from the main entrance into Carver Barracks. If you do turn in there, you will be met by lots of soldier-looking people with guns asking you exactly what you're up to. They don't take kindly to sort of lots of runners turning up looking to run marathons around their barracks. So please do sort of like look out for the right entrance into Debden Airfield. Now, when you arrive, please just be a little bit careful as you come in. Please don't come racing in, so slow down and enter into the car parking area. You do have to cross over the actual marathon course to get to the car park. This will obviously be marshalled. We'll make sure it's nice and safe. Please be patient, okay, with our marshals. It may well be that there's a batch of runners coming through on the course, and therefore you just might have to be a little bit patient and wait your turn to actually cross over safely. After you've parked up, then you'll walk down towards Race HQ. It'll be really obvious. There'll be lots of tents there, lots of gazebos with Active Training World on, and you will be registering. Now then, what time is your race going to be off and what time do you need to register? So there are going to be 3 waves taking place on the morning. The first wave will be starting at 9 o'clock. We'll be running the half marathon and the marathon will be starting at the same time, but depending upon what time you're aiming for depends upon what time you will be starting. So if you are aiming for sub 3 hours for the marathon, or sub 90 minutes for the half, or you're aiming to go over 6 hours for the marathon or over 3 hours for the half, then you will be starting at 9 a.m. Okay, that is the first wave, starting at 9 a.m. If you are aiming for between 4 and 6 hours for the marathon, or if you're aiming for between 2 and 3 hours for the half marathon, you'll be starting at 10 a.m. in the 10 a.m. wave. And if you're aiming for between 3 and 4 hours in the full marathon, or between 90 minutes and 2 hours for the half, then you will be starting in the 11 a.m. wave. Okay, so instead of registering, if you can turn up roughly about an hour before those times, your start times, all of this information, by the way, is going to be in your final details, which will be sent to you. So please do read it in there. You don't have to try and memorize what I'm saying to you. But if you turn up about an hour before your start time, that should give you plenty of time to register, pick up your number, get ready, etc. Now, when you come down to registration, you're going to be handed a pack which will have in it your number, race number, and also it will have in it safety pins, okay, for you to be able to pin that to the front of your vest. On the back of the number will be a chip that's encased within a styrofoam strip. Do not remove that, okay? That is your timing chip. If you remove that, then the timing system won't work and you won't be recorded as starting or finishing, and we won't have a time for you. So please just leave the number as is. Don't start amending it and trimming it down, etc. Also, in your registration pack, there will be a luggage label, okay? This will take the form of what looks like a Tyvek wristband, and it will have your number written on it, all right? This will help us to be able to identify your baggage in the baggage drop area, okay? So it helps keep things all nice and organised. If you don't have to use a baggage drop area. The car park isn't that far away from the race start, so it's perfectly acceptable to just hang around your car until the last 5 minutes or so and then jog down to the start area. But there is that option there that if you wish to, then we will have a baggage drop area if you want to bring a small bag. We will be spraying all the bags with an antiviral disinfectant. So please make sure that you don't bring any valuable bags, and please don't bring any valuables to leave in those bags. Okay. But if you do wish to use the baggage drop area, simply affix that label around the straps of your bag, and then come and hand it in to the baggage area, which will be close to the start area. It'll yet again be marked and really obvious. After you've, in terms of the start, there will be start pens we'll be using. Those of you who've done active training world events before, or in recent times, will have no doubt had the pleasure of our starting process. And so we will be putting you into start pens. The fastest runners in your wave will be going off first. So in theory, they should minimise overtaking. Now, what we successfully piloted at the Dorney Marathon recently was a rolling start. So rather than starting in small waves where you all start all at once, what we had was just a rolling start where we queue you up basically to the start line in a socially distanced way, and then you make your way into the start area, so you can just have a gentle jog up towards the start line, and as soon as you cross the start line, you're off. It's as simple as that. So that has the added benefit. There's actually no stopping and hanging around before the start. And also what it means is you actually get a bit of a jog before the start to warm up a little bit. So it's all good, especially if you're running a distance race like you are. On the way round on the course, we will have, so the laps. How many laps is it? If you're doing the half marathon, it is a 3-lap course. And if you are doing the full marathon, it is 6 laps of the same course. This course is really, really quick. Okay, in the right conditions, in the right, if it's not blowing an absolute gale or driving rain, then I think this course could be a really, really fast course. It is an airfield, and airfields tend generally to produce fast times. We have changed the course around from when we ran the half marathon back in I think it was November time last year. Was it October? We've reversed the course. It's the same course, but we reversed it because we think it's going to be quicker this way round. So what we're planning to do is basically take advantage of the prevailing wind. Generally speaking, the wind tends to blow very, very hard up the main runway, which is what everyone was running down into at the in the last race. So this will now be your start, and you'll basically have the wind behind you as you head up. It's a very, very gradual incline. There's hardly any hills on this course at all, but I think if you can get that wind behind you, and then when you turn and you're coming back in towards the prevailing wind, it's more sheltered. There are more trees around there, so we're thinking that actually will help you to reach some superb times. Now then, on the course itself, we will have an aid station that will be serving high five, drink, and also water. They will be marked up as to which are which for you to get hold of. There will be one of these per lap. Okay, so you'll get, if you're on the half marathon, you'll see it 3 times. If you're on the full marathon, then you'll see it 6 times. Okay. In terms of finishing, as you come down the straight, obviously, if you're going around on your laps, you'll just bypass the finish and run past and head off on an additional lap. If you are finishing, then you'll just make your way in through the finish line. All of the results are chip timed. So it doesn't really matter. The finishing order isn't necessarily mean that it's the finishing set of results. It won't be the order of the results. It all depends when you started. And as you already mentioned, there are multiple waves starting on the day. In terms of starting, of course, it doesn't matter. We've already mentioned how we're going to sort of start on a rolling process. It doesn't actually matter when you start. Your time doesn't start until you cross that timing mat on the start line. Okay. Now then, when you finish, you will be picking up a medal. So we've got an example of it here. It's superb medals that we've had designed for this, for the Essex Marathon and Half. So looking forward to handing these out on the day. And there will also be some water for you at the finish line to help refresh you and get you on your way. Now, in the current times, one of the questions we all do keep getting asked is about spectators coming, and in particular around these longer distance races like marathons. People are concerned about travelling to the race and not being in any fit state to drive themselves home after. So what we are saying is that we do have to discourage spectators from coming. So we don't want families full of, cars full of people coming to watch and cheer on. But if you do require someone to drive you home safely afterwards, then we are going to allow you to bring somebody with you. But what we do request is that Debden Airfield itself is it's a 7-kilometre circuit. So we do ask that you go out onto the course and you spectate in a socially distanced way. Do not hang around the start and finish area. So If you are a non-runner who is driving someone to the event, then please do not hang around the start-finish area. We want it to be nice and socially dispersed, if that's the right word to use. One thing would like to pick up on is we get this at all of our races, but particularly in the longer distance races, is around the course measurement. So our courses are all measured through UK Athletics and are actually measured by a name that many of you will know, and that is Hugh Jones. He is actually the London Marathon winner, and is now he actually measures the London Marathon, and is recognised as being one of the world's, in fact, leading course measurement experts. He has measured this course at Essex for the marathon and half marathon, and has certified it to be accurate. When you run on the day, many of you, no doubt, will be wearing GPS watches. Your GPS watch will probably not say that you have run exactly 26.2 miles or 13.1 miles. GPSs are renowned for being not very accurate, especially over longer distances. Whenever I go around a measured circuit, my watch will always read long. I always get about 10% too much, which of course when you're over a longer distance, that becomes a phenomenally large amount. Most of this is due to sort of disturbances that you get through your GPS signal, and also it can be due to coverage, so for example trees, etc. On the circuit itself, I say it is a disused airfield, there is a radar station that is operative, and that will actually affect your GPS signal. So yeah, please do not email us in afterwards complaining about the fact that your watch says that you ran 26.8 or that you only ran 25.4 or whatever. I can guarantee you this this course has been accurately measured by Hugh Jones, and it is exactly 13.1 or 26.2 miles, depending on whichever race it is you're doing. Other than that, I think that's about it. Guys, we want you to come and have a superb day. Please do remember, obviously everything's being relaxed off now, which is great news. It's looking like we're heading for a summer of more events and activity, which is superb. And we do, however, still have to be cautious of the fact that we do still have some restrictions in place. It's great that we can get back to organising our events again. One of the requests we do make is that around the HQ area, especially when you're registering, that you wear a mask when you're registering, because you are coming into face-to-face contact with our marshals, and we don't want to put them at any increased risk. Even though we are in the great outdoors, let's just do everything we can to keep everyone safe. Other than that, please keep socially distanced on the day, be sensible, more than anything, have a great time, and I really hope that you enjoy yourself at the event, and hopefully walk away with a PB as well. We look forward to seeing you on the 18th of April. If you do have any questions, please leave them either underneath, post them on social media underneath this video, or alternatively email them into the team and we'll get back to you. Take care, guys, and see you on the 18th.